Hello, everyone, and welcome to Link to the Past Randomizer, where we have our daily race. Being nice, open 7 crystals needed to open Ganon's tower, seven for to defeat Ganon. I'm Sorcerer Finch. I'm joined here in the booth with KR. How are you doing tonight?
Doing pretty good. How you doing, Finch?
I am doing excellent. We've got a nice open seed coming up, some nice relaxing. Relatively relaxing potentially, but we will be getting underway momentarily.
Yep, as you can see here, we have Shroki, Alex, Specs, and Surge in the race. We're just about to start up. Again, it's open start, so we can choose to start either at House or Sanctuary. And most people taking the House with 10 arrows, it looks like it's our one drop.
We are 4 for 4. And I saw look like a crystal up at Hera.
I did not see that as I was getting to full screen here, but again, escape start, pretty vanilla here. And you see this a lot even in our crossover with Super Metroid SMZ3, which is a little bit more my area of expertise.
Yeah. Also like to give a shout out to Maddie Walkherd and Solit, who are pushing the buttons today for us and tracking all of the items that our runners pick up.
Legends, the lot of them.
Also, looks like Desert was a pendant. And Uncle Escape not really having too much. Just gonna grab that magic.
2 quick and easy checks though. Takes about a minute to do. You never dislike seeing them.
Right. All right, and we got a key at Sank Chest. So, oh, and Surge is actually gonna continue on in this section. Probably gonna check the first check.
Front of Escape. Front of Escape is difficult but doable so long as you have bombs, but we don't have bombs yet.
Right. So the first check will be able to be gotten, but that'll be it.
If it pays off, it pays off. But if it doesn't,
that's true. Then it's just a minute. The other racers gonna go ahead and check out Lumberjack Ledge, or just go directly into Lost Woods.
Yeah, so we'll be seeing that pretty shortly. But right now we see just a piece of heart. Aghanim 1 is not required because that's just $20.
Yep. Also, not a whole lot in Lost Woods either.
2 pieces 11. That is it.
Surge, it looks like is. Let's see what Surge is going to try and do. Meanwhile, we got racers in Lost Woods.
Surge is grinding for bombs. Because the soldiers can't... The soldiers have a small possibility of dropping bombs themselves.
Depending on the prize pack, yeah. It did look like a green pendant, by the way, at Eastern.
Ooh, GP... Alright, so green pendant Eastern. We have DP... A desert here. Just missed that one first, but that is a net. We still have no bombs, and there's our 3. Just in time for Specs. So well first, paid off.
Yep. So we're going to go ahead and see what we've got back here. This is our first foray into Kakariko Village for a very well-placed flute.
Very worth it. Gives us access to Death Mountain in Logic now. Gives us access to Mire once we get Titan's Mit's Moon Pearl. Gives us access to a lot more flexible movement and a lot more flexible strategies. So I assume we'll be seeing some divergence after this. Whereas Alex and Shroki are now taking on Blindside first, the traditional play.
Yeah, and we get a mushroom. We get... The mushroom so far is the main takeaway. And this will end up paying out for Specs just because there are no bombs. Shroki and Alex will need to come back with bombs if they'd like to continue further.
Indeed, and it's of note that rupees are also of the essence right now because Specs just crossed that 100 threshold for the bottle vendor. But both Alex and Shroki are choosing instead to buy their bombs, not checking well first. Which is, as we know, very unfortunate for them, as they don't know yet, though. Although Shroki seems to be getting back at Tavern, but 10 arrows.
But just 10 arrows right there.
Same goes for Bottle Vendor, so they do not like paying out items yet.
Yeah, so far the main Uh, so, all right, and there. All right, there was those bombs for Surge.
Yep, an 8-pack of bombs. That's just enough to drop it all. And so we'll see what's in front of Escape and if it's worth it. That's magic powder, so that could be worth something.
Could be worth something. We would need to get Hammer, which again could be coming up. We don't know where that is, and we are getting a decent amount of health. We've gotten a lot of heart pieces out of Kakariko. Specs already at 5 hearts. We're not even 5 minutes in.
Yeah, I think I've seen like 6 heart pieces now, and as well as a heart container, so we're seeing a pretty healthy seed. But Alex and Shroki now paying for their decision to go down to, well, second, because both of them are going to have to grind up for those 100 rupees that ended up being a punish.
Yeah, Surge does have to be a little cautious. Down to 1 heart. Down to 1 heart.
There's the lock, though. That's going to be fine. Right back in there, and that is just enough for the last bomb to get to front of Escape defeated. So that was very well done by Surge here.
Yep. Meanwhile, Specs finishing up Kakariko Village. We'll go ahead and see what's on the race game. It is just a piece of heart, but
Looting out of there.
that is the nice thing about having that flute. You can immediately skedaddle. Gonna go ahead and turn in that mushroom immediately.
Yep, with flute, that is a very quick and easy check to do, and it's a lot more useful now, I think, than later on. Pays off.
Oh, Surge is gonna have to be cautious here. Down to 1 pot and no more bombs.
1 pot, no bombs, lands
escape.
it.
There
and
we
also,
go.
I don't know if you saw it, but Specs just got the Power Glove, and that's Moon Pearl!
All right, so that early pay definitely paying out a good amount, especially without weapons. But yeah, we'll go ahead and see. Looks like Surge now will be going towards Kakariko Village.
Yeah, Surge heading to Kakariko with Magic Powder, Moon Pearl, and as we saw, Specs having Power Glove at Mushroom location, just impressive here. So we're going to see probably Shroki and Alex take that soon, but more bombs for Specs.
Yep, and meanwhile, Specs gonna, let's see if Specs will go towards desert area, or with 5 bombs and no other weaponry, it would be pretty tight to do Mini Moldorm Cave at this point. So we'll see which direction Specs goes.
That is true. Going to desert could be worth it too.
Or just pick up a
never
sword.
mind. There's sword. So sword is on well. I could see an escape play being made too, but probably after the South Shore play. Because that's kind of what the standard ones are.
Yep, and Alex picking up that Power Glove as well.
Power Glove for Alex. Shroki holding off a little bit more, waiting, I think, to do South Shore, then possibly head up to do Mushroom. Because it is such an out-of-the-way check that you could get punished doing it very easily.
That one little Mini Moldorm just hanging on for dear life on that ledge.
Yep, Alex and Shroki. Shroki just received the sword. Alex about to receive theirs.
Well, and there's Hammer, so I think we're pretty good with weaponry right now. And
Hammer and Mirror in Mini Moldorm Cave. Do I hear that right?
Yep. So yeah, we'll take that. All right, and Specs will go ahead and continue on to Ice Rod Cave. It's especially nice to have that flute there. Shroki needs to be a little cautious.
Not too
There we
much.
go.
The crabs only take 2 hearts, but we're fine with this. So we're going to see around similar times for Alex and Shroki here. They're both going to have a very, very quick route to that Hammer and Mirror, but we have to find Moon Pearl to make use of it.
And the cup and
Hammer on the Bandit.
And I think from here, let's see where Specs ends up going.
I do hope for... We could be seeing Eastern play. Yeah, we're seeing an Eastern play.
Okay, and there are going to be 5 to 6 items. I'm not sure if the double dip is going to be quite worth it, you can hope for a bow along the way, but there's a lot of there's still a decent amount of the world still to explore.
Okay, Shroki dipped out of the South Shore a little bit early, I think. I don't believe that he went to the Ice Palace, but instead, we're going to be seeing an escape play, which we know pays off heavily here.
Right, especially for that Moon Pearl.
Yeah, that is arguably the best payoff, so a lot of our runners will now have 2 pieces of the 3-piece puzzle to get to Dark World. I wonder who's going to get there first, though.
And Specs does pick up some green goo there, so that's going to be worth another check back at Kakariko Village.
Green goo flying, and it's a pretty quick flight anyway, so again, being able to do all these disjointed checks pretty much one after the other, that is the advantage of having Flute this early.
Right, and just a heart piece, but again, it's better to know now rather than later.
Alex deciding to go Death Mountain here, so that's another area we haven't seen yet, so we have complete divergence at this point.
Yeah, and this one can also pay out nicely in the form of that save and quit spot.
That is true, but I think it has diminishing returns when we already have Flute this early.
True. And we've got a red boomerang over on Desert Ledge, so probably won't see anyone pick it up. We'll see.
This I like, Clown Defense. One of the easiest ways to lose out is to get clowned on so early on by Agina having something huge.
Well, especially since at this point we do have Dark World access amongst our racers.
Yes, that is not only Dark World access, but strong, solid Moon Pearl Dark World access, instead of just being able to mirror out. So Shroki here now looking for his glove.
Yeah. Specs did pick up some blue armor, so it's not the worst.
True, that is very solid for Agina to have. Blue armor is a great defense upgrade, will help with Dark World movement and combat.
And meanwhile, Shroki's going to go ahead and check out what is at. Now this is out of logic here. What Shroki's doing, checking Dark Cross, but Specs just going ahead back to the back.
Same thing with Old Man, but Alex did it. A lot of these runners know how to do these kinds of runs, but it doesn't seem to me like there's anything of consequence in the sewers area. Surge picking up, by the way, the Power Glove, so it's possible we'll see Surge be the first person with full Dark World access.
Yeah. And let's see, if you're Alex, you've got a shot at potentially being able to do Hera for Crystal number 1.
I mean, Hera's completely doable except for that fire, right? Because you do require fire for...
You might need fire, depending on without hookshot and without hookshot, you wouldn't be able to clip into there. But there was Ether Medallion, by the way, in Dark Cross.
Ooh, Ether and Dark Cross is big because it is a very temporary light source, but it is a light source. And it could be one of our 3 medallions required for Mire and or Turtle Rock.
Right, and especially we've got 2 of the 3. There's only going to be 1 pendant in Dark World, so odds are good that Mire and TR are both crystals, but we'll see.
We're seeing the South Shore play from Surge. That's going to be a sword, that's going to be hammer, and that's going to be mirror. All 3 very important items for Dark World. And Shroki's definitely paying also because of the because we don't have that Power Glove, we have to go through the front, all the way through Dark Cross, which did pay off, but it is a time punishment.
Yeah, and now we do have now we've got more and more runners, and it looks like Paradox 2. Okay, here we go. So
that's disgusting. Pod is our last pendant, with I believe Thieves Town and Turtle Rock being our red crystals.
That looked like Mire and Ice Palace to me, actually.
Whoops. Paradox Cave, we'll see it.
Alright, so far Paradox not really having a whole lot.
And Shroki's the first person with full Dark World access. By a few seconds over Surge. Because Surge, for whatever reason, is not using Sword on... Well, to be fair, it's a little bit safer to use bombs. and we have had at least plenty of rupees. But that's Hammer, that's going to be Dark World, and we see Shroki coming in and just aiming to do now the Dark World segment, I assume. Get Skullwoods early, get Thieves Town early, get Dark Kakariko.
All right. Meanwhile, Specs, by virtue of getting that earlier big key, will be able to climb to the top and at least beat the dungeon. We haven't seen any items yet, though, so there's a chance that second item is down in the basement.
My
Oh.
apologies, it is indeed Meyer, and we're gonna get a bomb jump here, aren't we?
Yeah, this one's a good payout if it works.
That is an item.
It's an item, and we've got a 50-50 chance now. Will Moldorm have our final item, or will we have to make a trip to the basement at some point later? Maybe.
If I were Specs, I'd be hoping that it is. Ooh, that is a small key too. I'd be hoping desperately that Moldorm has the second item, because if not, and it's a dungeon item, well, that basement trip is not nice, and it is also very hard to get to Hera just because it's so remote. Obviously, it's easy, but it's way too remote out there. Shroki finally picking up the 10 arrows too, so that's good routing to get it in there with the outcast check.
Well, and yeah, Shoka giving us our first look at Village of Outcasts and item 2. All right, so we'll be able to do this in one go.
Ooh, is that 300 rupees I saw on Hype Cave? Yes, it is.
Yeah, 300.
Shovel. Fetch quest.
And at this point, actually, that's a pretty good shovel spot because we've got the mirror. Surge will be able to do a bunch of those South Dark World checks in one go.
Yep, you were right. Again, 5-6 being on. 5-6 is vanilla, like straight up vanilla.
Yeah.
Down to the ordering too. Specs heading down to Spiral Cave, while Shroki is heading now into Thieves Town, so we're gonna get a look into that dungeon.
All right, we'll see how well Thieves Town treats our runners tonight.
By the way, trackers, if somebody would not mind, I would like to hear some Kirby music, so could we please put on Alex's stream? Thank you very much.
To clarify for chat, that Moon Pearl happened to be in Zelda Cell.
Moon Pearl was in Zelda Cell, Hammer was in Moldorm, and yeah, Hammer was in Moldorm Cave as well as Mirror, and we got Glove on Mushroom, which was also in Kakariko Well. Or should I say turning in the mushroom?
All right, it looks like I wasn't counting items in the front. That was only 1 or maybe 2 items in the front of Thief Town. But Thief Town is fully completable at this point, so definitely well worth completing it.
Yeah, Thieves Town's one of the easier dungeons requirement-wise to complete, just because you don't really need much. You just need Hammer to full clear it.
Yep, and meanwhile, Alex joining Specs with having that first crystal under their belt.
Again, that Hera crystal, neither other runner has gone to Dark World so far, so I believe that that's going to be, or not Dark World, but Death Mountain so far, so that's going to be slightly different.
Yep, and let's see, Surge is, there's our item.
Wow, that's a lot of digs.
All right, and fortunately, Stroky having that powder did mean that we'll be able to get through this section. Having powder in Thieves Town, especially since it's going to be early on, definitely does help early.
That is extremely helpful, gets you fairy, especially if you have net too, like all these runners have, it's a little extra bonus too.
All right. Well, not playing very nicely for Alex, but that is at least got another heart container.
And green juice. Keep in mind, we can use green juice if we don't have both and we want to explore pods, so don't just get rid of that right away, because that is part of the screen scrolling, I believe.
Right, there is the potion glitch available there. If we are bow locked. Meanwhile, Specs is going to go ahead and give us a bit of Eastern. This is the first time that any of our runners have been in here.
Makes sense. We've had a lot of just logic chains that are a lot easier to do than just single diving Eastern. Was that a sword on bat? I could not see that very well. I couldn't see it very well, but that does look like a sword on bat based on that sword beam. Yep, that was a sword on magic bat.
All right, you love to see it. That is one of the nice things about the various weapons in the game. Shroki, you forgot someone.
What did Alex just pull? And yeah, Shroki, you gotta... I think Shroki was going for big chest first, but... Yes, we see Master Sword here from Surge. And Alex here is also an Eastern, so we're gonna get a little bit of a follow behind. For those who have not seen Link to the Past lore, technically each of these crystals is a sleeping maiden who uses the power to, well, seal away Ganon, with Zelda being the last one.
All right, it looks like just 50 rupees. It was an item in Thief Town Big Chest. It just wasn't a very good one.
Yeah, we don't mess around with that. The good news is I'm pretty sure that is all of the Thieves Town items. The bad news is that Shroki is at very low health right now.
Right now, fortunately, there is a script to be able to do blind fairly easily, but we'll see. But if we get away from that, then things could really get dicey. We'll see.
3. So blind requires 9 hits. 4, 5, 6. Alright, phase 3 left to go, no hits. And looks like Shroki's gonna take it pretty easily. I say that's a hit, but that is a hit well deserved for blind. So that will punish you right there, and that's 10 bombs.
Alright, and that puts Shroki on the board, first to defeat blind.
Specs is about to get Baboon Pearl. And I believe Alex is still going to finish up a little bit more of Eastern here with the Dark Rooms and being slightly out of logic.
Yeah, that is going to be one of the things, because Specs did bail from this chest that Alex is about to check.
We have more than enough health here, and that's a piece of heart, so nothing you want to really see. Shokui's about to see something you really want to see, though, which is your Master Sword.
Yep. So let's see, if I'm our runners, at this point with what you've got available to you, we don't have our racers actually have done a pretty good job of staying in logic, all things considered, dark rooms aside. Do we start to see some of our runners get tempted to potentially do some water walking and check the Zora area?
Judging by the amount of checks we still have in logic, I doubt it, especially with the new Dark World that just came into play for Specs. I could see something like Hera coming up for Shroki because Shroki hasn't gone to Death Mountain yet. We're going to see Dig Game first. Surge is in Hera right now, taking that down. So everybody's beaten Hera except for Shroki.
Yeah, that's true. And let's see where Alex flies to. And that is Christian number 1 for Surge as well.
Everybody's on the board. Everybody's on the board with generally the same dungeon except for Shroki. So I'm interested to see how this routing difference plays out and what time differential we'll get.
All right. We also have not yet seen... let's see. If I'm Specs, I'm probably going to go ahead and go to the left. But we have not seen Pyramid or Pod area yet. So
We have not. And seeing Pyramid Pod, I think, is a little bit more beneficial, but that's only if you haven't really dug Eastern. And I think Specs digging Eastern before Escape will dissuade that. What I think will happen is that Specs is going to go kind of do what Shroki did, go to Village, check maybe... Okay, no, you're right. We're going to see a Pyramid check at the very least, if not a Pod check. Agina on Alex, I believe that was just bombs. K45's nothing. Unfortunately for Shroki, this is just going to mean that you're going to have to revisit this once you get Shovel in Hype Cave.
yeah, this will end up being it'll end up being a little bit out of the way now, but we'll see first what is on Pyramid.
Pyramid could be something, but Stumpy's nothing. Ooh, Medallion! Is that Bombos?
That is Bombos, so it would be out of logic, and depending on key placement, we could do ice out of logic. So
Yeah,
there's a lot of things in what I just said that do not sound good.
out of logic, sure. In logic, we're gonna see. Okay, this is how we're gonna see Zora's Domain. We're gonna see Quakefish.
Yeah, and Specs does have the money for Zora, so it'll at least also be worth the scouting of that area.
Shuriken's about to do facepalm in 3, 2, 1, bang.
Meanwhile, Alex going ahead into Sword Zelda Cell and will be picking up the Moon Pearl momentarily.
So everybody will be, before pre-30 minutes, have full Dark World access, which, considering how much the game is Dark World, you can expect. But at the same time, it's just fun to notice that everybody will have Moon Pearl, everybody will have Hammer, everybody will have Love, but not Titan Spit.
And actually, Surge looks like... Oh, okay. So there's another sword.
So that could be potential tempered for Shroki Surge. And Magic Bat will be potential tempered for Specs.
Yeah. Now Surge here setting up for a water walk. With that Moon Pearl, we'll be able to get... Alright, good news is nothing on Zora Ledge. And Surge does pull off the Fake Flipper.
The Fake Flipper, very, very useful tool here because it will get you all the way to and through both the bridge as well as the... Ooh, that's unfortunate for Alex, just taking a beating or two there. But that will get us to bridge, to Zora's Domain and Waterfall Cave, which is something Specs cannot get right now.
Yep. But meanwhile, let's see what the king has for us tonight.
King better have my money. But he just gives us a little bit of love instead. We do not need health, so we're going to save Quid out of there. Same thing goes for Hobo. That's unfortunate.
All right, so yeah, given our existing knowledge, given the knowledge that we have of all the racers at least, we've got Skullwoods. So I don't think we've seen Skullwoods quite yet.
We have not, but it's something I dislike. I'd actually much rather see a pod dive early than Skullwoods here, just because we know Skullwoods is a crystal, and it's only 2 items.
All right, meanwhile, Surge is going to go ahead and give us a couple out-of-logic checks here with the Waterfall Fairy.
1, 2, 3, that looks like it's it. That's in. 300 rupees and 20. So we got 320 rupees. Nothing too bad, but nothing too good either. And Specs is about to give us some Dark World. No, Skullwoods.
All right, and Surge being careful not to touch any. If you touch grass in this water walk state, you will essentially land back on land. You'll be back on the right layer. You'll be good, but you won't be able to walk on water anymore.
Yeah, we want to walk on water here, so... And this is the main reason I do not like seeing Skullwoods this early, because I'd much rather have Samaria for it. And same thing goes for Ice Palace, to be fair. I'd much rather see Samaria before it, because Icebreaker is Icebreaker.
Yeah, but it is also I've just it always feels like Samaria is in that Icebreaker chest sometimes.
Gino was blue mail, so we did get blue mail on a few runners now. That's right, so Alex getting blue mail, Shroki and Surge still taking full damage.
Yeah, and Specs is going to go ahead and go tackle this backwards. Without the Fire Rod, won't be able to complete the dungeon.
Yep, so you might as well just get whatever you need. Hopefully we find 2 items in here and dip out, because Skullwoods, you can take a little bit of time, but that's a key, and there's quite a few of them there. Shroka's going to do the same bomb jump we saw Specs do earlier. Oof. Double oof.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
And Shroki just saying, I'm out. Oh,
Yeah.
that's a hit on Specs.
Yep, and there's Titan's Mitts. That is item number 1. We're gonna need that, and that and that opens up the world considerably.
Ooh, yeah, that is Dark Death Mountain. That is mainly Dark Death Mountain, but still we take that. That's Ice Palace.
Yep, and it does look like item 2 will be in the back, but we'll be able to do a good amount with that Titan's Mist that we picked up in Skullwoods.
Oh yeah, and there it is for Surge too. So it's Specs and Surge with the most progression right now, but Shroki is kind of taking a little bit of time to explore Death Mountain as well.
All right, and Specs is also going to go ahead and check out Bumper Ledge. Okay, there's our 4th sword.
Well, that's gonna be nice if you can get it, but we don't have cape yet. And generally we prefer temper to gold anyways, because it's not out of our way.
Yeah, although it'll be nice for runners who check it, if you happen to find the cape, if you want to get tempered, you'll be able to get it. We know where all the swords are.
Yeah,
So
which is of consequence because Specs doesn't know where all the swords are, nor do Shroki and Surge. They know only 2 of them are the ones they have.
Oh, and there's Ice Rod. We're gonna need that.
Wow. Specs just sniffing it out every time. First Titan's Mitts, then finding Tempered on Bumper Ledge, and now finding in Grave Ledge, no less, the Ice Rod.
Yeah, Ice Rod is definitely one of the... Ice Rod being the item that can appear almost anywhere in the game before Ganon's Tower and before Trinex. That's definitely going to be... That's going to feel good finding that early.
Oh yeah. Oh, this is disgusting. I had a thought. What if... Hear me out. The play here is Meyer for Specs. If Meyer's Bombos, that could be a huge play.
Could be. It'd be...
Oh, wait,
it might
no,
be a little bit
mind.
risky without Samaria, yeah. 1,
without Samaria. 2, we still need Hookshot and or Boots.
Yeah. But Meyer's Shed is very quick, though.
True, and it does get you past the desert. So everybody except Shroki has Titan's Mitts now from doing Skullwoods. Shroki taking another pass on to Hera. Hopefully not going to get bumped off this time.
Meanwhile, we do have Specs and Surge both in Thieves Town. So as our racers retrace each other's steps, please make sure to give them a follow. They're putting on a nice show for us tonight over on Speed Gaming 5.
Absolutely doing a great show here. Thank you very much, Finch, for putting that in the chat.
All right, and then... But yeah, Pod is looking more and more suspicious at this point for having some sort of progression. Sure, you've got the saying about Pendant Pod, but there really isn't a whole lot more... Not really a whole lot more in logic that we haven't seen.
To be honest, the person I would expect to go to Pendant Pod first is Shroki, because Shroki's the one who hasn't checked out Eastern.
True, and Alex has to be a little cautious here. There we go.
Alright, let's see it. We know it's punishing, but let's still see it. And just missed. It's also worth noting that Alex is the only one on Fighter Sword still.
That is true, and that's... All right, yep, escape, escape, we're good.
And that's it.
All right, and that is Shroki's second crystal right there. Currently the leader amongst the Restream runners.
Alright. So, Shroki Crystal leading, I would say Specs is kind of progression leading alongside Surge. Who do you think is routing leader? So far, at least.
Let's see. In terms of routing, I would give it to Specs right now. But it is still relatively early in the seed. There's our shopping list. We still have a pretty good shopping list. And
oh yeah, Fire Rod, 1 or 2 medallions. I will say, if Ether Medallion is required, that is a huge boon for Shroki.
Right. Getting that Ether Medallion out of Logic, out from Dark Cross, that will pay out. However, without the Can of Samaria, we won't really be able to do much in Turtle Rock. We could pop it open though.
Hold up, my screen's frozen for the stream. But that's it. Is stream frozen for you too?
We do have, and yes, we do have a possibility, I suppose, of a bolus seed.
Okay, I'll be right back. Yeah, well, I will get.
We'll work on getting that back up for everyone.
Now, let's listen to this amazing Kirby audio and get some speculations.
And this is especially a point where it's a good idea to follow the racers, to follow the action.
Absolutely. We have Shroki. We have at twitch.tv/theshroki. Alex at twitch.tv/AlexFarron. Specky at twitch.tv/SpeckySpecs. And Surge at twitch.tv/Surger132. Yeah. Don't worry, we'll give it a little bit. It does seem to me like we're in a dungeon of some sort on Alex's side. Refresh the connections. Alright. We'll see if that works, but it's the whole stream, including timers, not just one runner, so that might be different.
Meanwhile, checking out, looks like kind of checking out, Shroki does look like heading towards Pod in the meantime. Alex is into Thief Town. Specs is just dug up the heart container. And meanwhile, Surger is doing the Smith chain.
Is that prediction or knowledge? So I have been checking chats, and so I just been focusing pretty much exclusively on those. Sweet, Surge is in fact Smith chain. Is it just me who's got the stream crashed? Okay, thank you. Don't worry about us, we'll be right back.
All right. Meanwhile, it looks like Surger is picking up another mail upgrade at Hammer Pegs. And again, apologies for the as we work on getting back up into play.
Oh, red mail's hammer pegs? Interesting. Sphere 4. Hype Chaos, Trap Chest Titans Mitts, Ice Rod, Temper Sword Plus, Shield Plus my sword.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Shroki is going into Palace of Darkness. All right, and I believe we are getting back up. Thank you, everyone, for everyone's patience.
So it looks like Specs got the Temper Sword. Surge is finishing up with Chain, got Blue Mail and Hammer Pegs, which is our Knowledge Red Mail. Shorky is in Pod, getting something. Alex is doing whatever. Surge is about to finish up Smith Chain. I don't know if there's anything big on that, but it does look like there's something. Yes, we are alive. Thank you very much. Yeah, we gotta have those crisp 16-bit pixels. But, you know, we're seeing Smith Chain on Specs too, because Specs is possibly about to get the red mail. Yep, just about. I just missed what's on Lunchbox.
It wasn't anything. It was just a little bit of cash.
Yeah, surprising to me right now that Surge doesn't check Myers Shed just because it's right there. Or check the medallion required, but yeah, Surge just missed that. Red mail from Spec.
Strokey going ahead and showing off the pushing glitch, by the way. If you can trick the game into thinking that all enemies are off the screen, that clearly means that you beat everyone in the room.
Yeah, because enemies apparently do not spawn off screen. How times have changed. Alex having a little bit of a harder time with blind, but not too much. 1, 2, oh, just a little bit of lag. 3, and there we go. Alright, 45, we know it's nothing. Surge just got out of there.
Yeah, but we could see, let's see what we can do in Desert. Now, Desert, I don't remember seeing Desert, but we could be kicked out if the big key is either on Torch or small key on Torch and big key on right side.
Yes, that is true, but doesn't look like that's gonna happen. It looks like we have Compass on Torch, so we're given the go mode for that. We will still be kicked out if we don't have a fire source, though. But that'll be at the very end. Specs, not happy with that, because that is indeed just a heart piece on Shovel. Strokey doing Out of Logic, Basement for Pod. So we're gonna see that small key.
Yep. And to answer a question in chat, we had our gloves both at the mushroom spot and in Skullwoods.
Trap chest. Glove was, yeah. And we just got boots, by the way, in Cannonball chests, so we're gonna see that. Alex getting their red mail.
All right, it did look like Ether Medallion is going to be needed for Meyer. So that will...
Huge news for Strokey.
Yep, so that will pay out.
Smith Chain gives, that's another bottle of green goo. Indeed, boots are in DP. DP right side boots, indeed. So now we're looking for, what? Flip. So the main things we're looking for right now are Samaria and Fire Rod. And Hookshot.
And Hookshot.
Hookshot. I'm calling it right now, Hookshot and Swamp. Alex about to get their Master Sword. There's the wrong cane.
Yep, there is some kind of cane right there.
Gosh darn it. Blue cane. I wanted red cane.
We have red cane at home.
Red cane at home.
All right, but let's see. Specs will not be able to go. Yeah, so Specs will go ahead and check out what's in Desert.
Yes, and Specs will soon get boots then, based on the right side.
Yeah, and that does open up a good number of checks here as well. We've got now we will be able to. Oh, there's flippers.
Pod.
Pod.
Pod. Well, that's gonna be that's a signal for Swamp if I ever saw one.
But Hookshotless Swamp.
Hookshot's gonna be in Swamp. Let's be real. Swamp always got something. If it doesn't have a sword, it's gonna be Hookshot. This and King's Tomb had nothing.
Alright, but we also do still have Bunk Rocks. Alright, and Strokey going ahead and finishing up everything that's possible to do in Pod yet. Keeping in mind, we still do not have a bow. So
that is true, and bow is not required this seed. Unless I'm missing something. But both Pod and Eastern, the only dungeons with full bow requirements are not required.
that is true. So we could find them, you know, we don't know where we'll find them. They could be back to back in up in GT. They could be Hope Room.
Imagine if we oh, Bonk Rocks is bow. Never mind.
All right, well there we go.
So that's Mimics and Gan. Oh, that's true. Mimics and Ganon. That is, well, glitches.
Now that does actually make things probably a little bit tougher for Surge. Surge is now much more incentivized to do Pod and Eastern and to finish them off, which, well, hey, we haven't... yeah, and considering we haven't yet done the Green Pendant turn-in yet because we need that bow, this could be a couple of new checks for us.
Very much so. That's 50 rupees on King's Tomb. King was a very stingy man, apparently. But we're gonna see Strokey kind of finishing off what he can off of Eastern, and Alex is gonna get the Cane of Disappointment.
All right. Meanwhile,
yeah, that's fair. That's fair. We do have a bow though, which is nice. So we have boots, Titan's mitts. It does look like Surge is about to get Ice Rod. So, well, no. Wait, why didn't Surge go Graveledge? Oh, because Light World. Light World. Yep. Otherwise, you know, it would work, but Light World.
Yeah, but in the meantime, okay, so now that Specs has boots, now Specs is going to go ahead and check out Lumberjack Ledge. I've seen this route as well, where don't worry about checking what's on Lumberjack Ledge until you have the boots, since you need to have the boots will always come before anything there. But yeah, the bow is definitely going to route folks towards the Pod Eastern area and towards those flippers. So that will actually give Ice Palace access.
Oh, that's dirty. Ice Palace gets credence here. Alex sees this third sword, does not know yet about the fish. Not many people will know about fish because not many people go to fish.
All right, and there's the flippers for Surge.
I wonder now though, does Strokey go to the fish area and having flippers though, because that is a lot of checks. And that would be Tempered Sword.
It does incentivize that.
Alex, let's get Ice Rod here.
But Strokey's gonna go ahead and...
Agina.
I was just about to say, like, hold on, that's an interesting route to get over here. But
so we're gonna get a good item and a required item. And Surge is gonna have a much easier time on these mimics than Strokey did, and I believe Alex did. Unless Surge already did it. Oh no, Surge already did it.
Yep, Surge has already done it.
Gotta love Mimic Clip. Well, no, different Mimic Clip, Bottle Glitch. Mimic Clip is a much harder trick.
All right, and meanwhile, let's see. Alex is gonna go ahead, and I do like this. Starting to run low on checks on Alex's side. Gonna go ahead and check out Dark Death Mountain, I believe, coming up.
Yeah, Dark Death Mountain's got, what, Super Bunny Cave, First Check a Hookshot Cave, um, Island
And
in the Sky, theoretically.
yep, and Spike Cave actually. That Cane of Burna does give us logical access to that.
That is true. Shroki's going to find what? Oh, Shroki. Oh, Shroki hasn't done Skull Woods yet. Okay.
Oh, yep. So yeah, that will go ahead and get Shroki that Titan's Mitts.
Yeah, and that's going to be huge to open up a lot of things. I do think that will hopefully prompt Pyramid into Quakefish for Shroki. I'm hoping that I'm hoping that a lot of them get that Pyramid Quakefish because it does seem like it will be at the very least helpful if not required.
Well, but Shroki's already done Pyramid.
Shroki's not done Pyramid. Specs did.
You're right. You are absolutely right.
Because Pyramid is Bombos. And that is probably your fire source for Ice Palace. Very precise shot to take, but you got it.
All right, and there's that Titan's Mitts for Shroki, and Alex is going to go.
Oh! What? What just happened? Bonk off the stairs into a jump back on the original ledge. What?
Oh, was one of the beetles there? Were they standing right there?
No. Just bonked off the stairs to go back to the chest, went back to the door, and right back again. Specs, what? Why?
Oh, also speaking of Bombos, we're gonna need that for Turtle Rock.
So no Quake requirement, so this could be a very big advantage for Shroki because it's a pretty public Bombos and a pretty private ether. And I seriously doubt that many runners will be going for that single check back and escape for a while.
Yeah, that one's gonna be a little tough. Alex is gonna go ahead and go through, and this is actually there is one tile, by the way, in Spike Cave where there are not spikes, so you can rest up, drink a potion. But let's see what we got here.
Just a little bit left. Unfortunate.
Not a whole lot.
Alrighty then. Let's see. What's next route? I think Alex is gonna go. Is Alex gonna make the Gambit hype? Well, no, can't because no flippers.
But this might be for Alex going up towards Catfish.
True. Ooh, that's a great Gambit to do right now, though.
Right. Although, at the very least, getting Pyramid, and from there, maybe Pod. And Pod would get Alex the required flippers. And
very, very true. I think this could be huge. Shroki doing Smith Chain now. It's red mail, but other than that, I don't remember it being anything.
Yeah, it's that kind of nice equipment, but it's not anything towards progression.
We take that, I suppose, but we'd rather take progression if I was Shroki.
All right. Meanwhile, Spec's going ahead and making those water checks.
We do know that most of them, if not all of them, are absolutely nothing. Alex getting Bombos, that's one half the requirement.
So yeah, bow, hook shot. And the good news is once our runners visit, because it's just Alex and Shroki who have not visited Desert yet, because they don't have the boots.
Yep, that's gonna help. Boots are gonna help a lot with just movement. Though it is generally paradoxical because you like seeing boots early.
Oh, Shroki. I can't remember what Shroki's second sword was, but
Shroki's second. Nope, it was bad. It was bad.
Okay, good,
No, we're
excellent.
Fine. We're totally fine. I've been keeping track of which swords which. Master Swords, all Master Swords have been Bat, except for Specs, who got Tempered Sword on Bat, but all Bat Swords have been obtained. The two missing are Quakefish, for everybody who does not have a Tempered Sword, and everybody's missing Ledge because nobody has Cape.
Yeah. Although maybe Cape could be in here, as Specs is our first runner to go into Ice Palace.
That is true, and Shroki is gonna see Meyer openable for right now. No boots, but that it does make a difference very soon. Ooh, that's interesting. If Shroki gets boots, does Shroki attempt Meyer?
That is a question, and at this point, I think there's got to be something in Meyer. There's probably something in Meyer here. We'll go ahead and see.
I've been saying Hookshot and Swamp. It could very well be vanilla for both dungeon items there. Yeah, Shroki's just dipping out, not even entertaining the idea of Keen of Burna.
Yeah, and fortunately, we know that the Spy Cave is not anything. Meanwhile, Specs is going to be showing us some of the old technology. Going to be showing off some Ice Palace bomb jumping.
I saw it on my last race I commentated. Very, very hard trick. I'd much rather be in the shoes of somebody with Icebreaker.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Surge is going to go ahead and isn't quite going to get the quick armors kill, but still good on arrows.
Ooh, just barely missed it before the heal. Very good on arrows. That's heart container, so vanilla, except it's sank heart container.
Yeah, and there's the green pendant, so that would be another out for Surge right there.
Yep, that's gonna be an out for Surge. I honestly think that each of these runners will have an out eventually. I think, except maybe Alex, just because Alex does a mirror, but that's kind of like the last one. Yeah, Armos Knights healed when they turn red. Ice Palace's Specs is out, and Specs currently doesn't really need an out. Wow! That's Samaria.
Well then.
Ice Palace. It's one of those seeds. Desert has boots. Desert has boots. Samaria has, Ice Palace has Samaria. What's next? And we're gonna restart the dungeon just because Icebreaker's that good.
Right, and fortunately, we've, and I don't believe Specs has used any green potion, except for, probably the one to get the flippers, actually, now that I think about it.
Maybe? I believe he had bow at the time, though.
Yep, okay, so yeah, there goes the potion.
Yep, time for Icebreaker. Best strat for Ice Palace in the game. That's a blue pot on Alex's side. That's interesting because that's a very weird one. That's fake Ocarina. Shroki, where are you going now? Is Shroki gonna go ledges? So find Cape Ledge, Bumper Ledge here. Graveyard Ledge, perhaps King's Tomb? Because after Bonk Rocks? Because Bonk Rocks is something. It's bow.
Right, it's gonna be something. Also, Surge gonna go ahead and pick up that Bombos.
Which is needed. It's required, so that's good.
All right, and let's see what else we get here.
All right, we're done Icebreaker done very well. Let's see. Big key. Not really required here, but all right, it gives us another check.
Right, and we're still looking for one item.
There it is. Nothing too good, but nothing too bad. We did get Samaria, which is required. For Meyer specifically. So Specs, once Ether is found, can do Meyer. But we have no light source, nor do we have a fire source aside from Bombos still. So Desert is incomplete. Period. That's just gonna be key, yeah. These are just gonna be dungeon names from here on out.
Alright, but that is gonna be Ice Rod for Shroki.
Yeah, that's gonna be again. That's a big Ice Rod's a big find once you find it, just because you have to find it for Turtle Rock, and it can be anywhere in the overworld or most of the underworld.
Right. And you know, Fire Rod can be in Turtle Rock. It can't be buried too deeply. Like it does have to be specific key logic or key locations. But we could see Fire Rod in Turtle Rock as a possibility.
That is true. We're going for super speed here, but I think we just missed it. What Strokey could do, and I believe Alex did Dark Death Mountain as well, but I don't remember seeing much Hookshot Cave. And thank you for the 1-bit Magius.
And yeah, like Super Bunny Cave wasn't really anything, but yeah, we don't know. But yeah, the one chest in Hookshot Cave is in Logic. That is in Logic with Boots, so that will be a new check. But meanwhile, Specs is going to go ahead as we cross over the 1 hour mark. Is going to be taking on Cold Stare.
Yep, there it is, and that's phase 1 down already. Bombos takes it down in 1 hit.
And with Temper Sword, this won't be too bad. You'd love to have the Fire Rod here with like half magic, but it'll cut through Cold Stare nicely.
Yeah, Temperate still makes this easy. Anything that's orange, and that's Progressive Shield.
Yep, I apologize. That was actually there. We were still looking for an item. It wasn't exactly the item we were looking for, but it is. Yep, and we got the Cane of Samaria out of it, so that does open up a little bit more.
Cane is big, but we really wish it was before Ice Palace, because Icebreaker's Icebreaker.
Yeah, but now Specs can go ahead and at least pop open Turtle Rock and see what's going on.
Yes, that is true. Turtle Rock could be huge for this, and that's just another huge out. Alex is about to get Samaria too, likely, with Ice Palace, so that's gonna be big. Again, Turtle Rock and Mire are 2 huge locations, and Specs has the opening for Turtle Rock, not for Mire.
All right, and let's see what is in this first chest.
Fire Rod! Wow!
Well, all right. So there we go. That will... Now, unfortunately, Strokey does need to head over towards Ice Palace now.
Not necessarily.
Needs the Cane of Samaria.
Could do... No, Pyramid could be first. And that... Because Bombos is also needed. But we're gonna see just a quick defeat of Skull Woods, which I wholeheartedly approve.
Oh yeah, and I think there is still one item to find in the back as well.
Oh yeah, that's also true. So that could be our silvers, that could be our hookshot. That could be even cape for just quick tempered access. But again, Strokey isolating Pyramid Quakefish area, which is a solid 6 checks because Strokey has not gone up there yet. It is pretty big.
All right. Meanwhile, we'll go ahead and see how Alex is on the Ice Palace bomb jump. And again, that is definitely one of the tougher tricks to do. And
Surge about to get the Fire Rod. By the way, it does serve to note that Surge is the only one without Ice Rod right now.
That is an interesting point. Fortunately, Surge won't be tempted to go into Turtle Rock in search of the classic Ice Rod on Laser Bridge.
No, but Surge will be going down to Spike Cave, it seems.
Yeah, and I like this play like as a way to finish off your dip of the mountain.
Yeah, that is unfortunate. Strokey just choosing to not search at all for the item, possibly could be on the bottom of the bridge. Instead, just grabbing the key and going straight to Mothron. Or Mothula, I forget which name is this one, which name's the Kaiju.
Mothula.
This one's Mothula, Kaiju's Mothron. Nintendo, don't sue me.
All right.
I was just picking up SMZ3 for the first time after a long time yesterday. I was having a lot of trouble with this room for some reason.
It's one of those rooms that, like, usually it's good until it's not, and then it is one that can cascade, it feels like.
Yeah, I was trying for the little shine skip there. So you can like walk diagonally with it, and just very, very barely make it across instead of triggering the floor to switch. Specs
Which,
about to pick up Fire Rod, by the way.
yep, and that will allow Specs to go into Turtle Rock.
Not just go into it, but completely beat it. So that's going to be a huge advantage for Specs here. And Master Sword Mothiel, you hate seeing it. Moving floor, moving spikes. The arena is probably more dangerous than the actual boss.
Right. Although there we go, getting Mothula finally off of the spikes, because and second item isn't anything. So yeah,
Ouch.
Turtle Rock is. I mean, it's still a crystal, but yeah, it looks
It's
like
a
Turtle
crystal.
Rock.
Yeah, you got your crystal, but Turtle Rock's gonna be the play here. Specs is just looking for hookshot, and if you want easier gain in silvers, and lamp theoretically, but oh, and ether. Ether's a big one.
Yep. And Specs going the correct way. Seen it a couple times where if you can go the wrong direction on this conveyor belt, if you don't have the hookshot to hookshot yourself onto the torch.
Yeah, I'm so used to doing this with hookshot because I saved Total Rock for a very, very end. So I'm so used to both seeing it and just doing it this way, the other way. So it's a lot harder. There's Cape. That's Golden Sword. Yeah, my medallion is either. Oh yeah, it's a very blurry stream right now for us comms. I hope it's not the same way for you guys on stream.
Yeah. Yep. Stream is good. Meanwhile, Surge is also going towards the back of Skull Woods. Not going to be a whole lot back here aside from the crystal.
Okay, we're seeing pyramid play for Shroki. That's going to be pretty big. Because Shroki is the only one without Bombos right now, and that's going to even it up, potentially even prompt Ice Palace for Samaria. We do know that it's going to be a sword. We do know that it's a sword on Quakefish, but we also know that the other sword is unlocked by a Turtle Rock. Icebreaker done. Well done, Alex.
All right, and we continue on in Turtle Rock. Meanwhile, Surge taking down Mothula.
Yeah, much easier to have tempered there, and it does look like we're gonna get tempered on Shroki's side soon too. So that's good to see all runners having tempered. Specs, it doesn't look like aside from Cape, there's really anything of consequence in Turtle Rock. Obviously, you know, if you want to get a little bit extra damage, for Ganon maybe, or even for I guess for Argus, because it does do a little bit extra damage for stuff like Argus and Mothula for Golden Sword rather than Tempered, but I mean, Tempered's really all you need, and especially if it's something like this.
I was honestly curious right there what the bunny sprite would be for the ranger. Okay, so there's Quake. That's the one we don't need.
Yeah, it's Quake in TR. Yeah, TR. Unfortunate that we don't need it, but it's still something.
Right, and it is an item, and especially considering Spec still needs Ether Medallion and Hookshot, so if you're go -1, you might make a different decision, but...
Is Shroki finishing pod?
Oh, okay, that's going to be interesting, and we'll actually be able to double up with pod Eastern. The only unfortunate thing is it's 2 pendants that so far will not pay out.
But imagine if Pedestal has like Hookshot though.
That is true.
It's a possibility.
And for the benefit of folks watching along, Ped is not dead. It is on life support.
There's one item on Ped that could be needed. That is it. But if you're doing 2 different dungeons that require Pedestal, and you might as well check it. So Ped is on life support, not dead yet. This could be a very, very dead Ped for Shroki here, and that's unfortunate.
Right. And with no one having the book, we don't know yet either. No one will be able to have knowledge until either someone picks up the book or someone does all those dungeons.
I will say, if I were in a situation like Alex is in right now, I would probably be, gunning for the overall checks first, but if hookshot was still not found, and just seeing comparatively, I would probably be gunning for Ped too, once I picked up the fire rod.
Yeah. Meanwhile, and
Surge is going for hookshotless swamp.
all right, and to be fair, because there's probably at least lamp, because technically what Specs is doing is technically out of logic without the lamp.
Logic schmogic, that's what people say when it comes to these runs. Guaranteed key right here. What's on Laser Bridge? School Hard Knocks, 1 key. We're not in gunboats, we are checking everything because we want to see hookshot here, if we're Specs. Specs wants to see hookshot on Bridge. Surge wants to see it in Swamp. Alex just wants to see it on Cold Stair, which we know it's not. And Strokey wants to see it on one of the 2 bosses. Nothing here. It could be on Trinex.
Trinex is a possibility. We will see that momentarily. But meanwhile, Surge in Swamp, Alex taking down Cold Stare, doing all right so far. Temper definitely helps as well.
Temper helps. Let's see if we have a clean fight on Armo States, by the way.
Nice.
Looks like
Except one did get away, unfortunately.
That's all right. Round 1 fight. And that's 1 head down. Round 2 fight. That's 2 heads down. All right.
And in just enough time, because if you run out of magic against Trinex, you could get locked out of the fight. You could have to restart.
Absolutely, but luckily enough, that was just enough time. Round 3 is started and ended right as Trinex becomes invincible. Not invincible, just defendable.
Just vincible.
Just vincible. It's just 20 bucks, unfortunately, from Sashala. Sashala is not being nice today, and we're just about out of the swamp checks we can do, and it doesn't seem like we have a hook shot.
Right. It is looking more and more suspicious now. We also do have Meyer is also a possibility.
Yes, it is. But who's the person who has Ether? The person who's about to do Meyer. Oh, we're gonna see Meyer now. Nice.
Yeah. Now, unfortunately, Sharky not having that Cane of Samaria means that won't be able to complete Meyer. But that
is true.
But this has honestly been a really interesting seed, just in terms of how much logic has been dripped from like item to item to item to item.
Yeah, we still haven't seen Lamp yet, which is impressive here. We're seeing left side swamp, so this could be something big here. Could see something big here.
Yeah, and so yeah, we've got 2 items here in Meyer over on Shirky's side. We do have a good number of items in Swamp, but again, we're down to our last 2 before we are kicked out.
Yes, last 2 before kicking out of Swamp, and not having hookshot makes the second item that much harder to get too, because it means you have to go all the way around. Lamp, that's something.
All right, hey, that brings us into logic.
That brings us all into logic for Ether too, which is very important for certain scenarios.
Right, and that probably does at least incentivize. That may end up incentivizing Surge a bit more towards that.
True, but that's only one check that's isolated. Whereas we can see stuff like, I don't know, pod, like finishing pod, if we're Surge here. That's map, so
True.
Nothing else here, no hookshot.
Yeah.
And at this point, I'm considering Pedestal could be hookshot, or Meyer could have hookshot.
Yeah. So now we're watching on Sharky's side, see what is over here. There's the big key. It's definitely nice to have the Meyer big key, but you'd rather have both items in hand first.
Yeah, and also don't forget we can do cutscene chests.
That's true.
So one-off checks that no runners have checked yet. Pedestal, right?
Correct. We have not seen pedestal.
And we can't know what it is because we have no book. If we get book somewhere though, that also leaves the other tablets open.
So what you're saying is book on ped?
No, what I'm saying is book in general. If we see
Right.
it, that means we have tablets open for at least, that's 2 extra checks. Spec's about to do Hookshot of the Swamp for no reward. Surge is about to get rewarded though with the play for Samaria. That is not quite yet, but you know, once it's happening, we're gonna see cutscene chest open up. If cutscene chest is something big like Hookshot book, it's not. Big chest could be it.
Yeah, just the delicious map burrito.
Yeah, map burrito. This is, again, there are many things you can do, but Vittles is not one of them, and we'd love to have silvers for Vittles.
Yeah. All right. Alex is trying to think of what to do next. Without the fire rod, cannot do the right-hand lobby.
I'm surprised that Alex chose not to go to Hookshot Cave here, because that is a reachable item, and it is in logic.
I wonder. We'll have to ask about that in the interview.
Yeah, we'll ask them about that later. Book.
Oh, speaking of book.
Yeah, that's the major reward, and that's gonna get you access to knowledge of not only pedestal, but that's gonna get you 2 different tablet checks. That's probably gonna give us something big.
Right, and on the plus side, it is also item 2, so it's a very quick. Like, let's just go ahead and wrap it up.
And it's also main desert entry. Though I would have just taken the mirror straight to Ooh, though we can complete desert now, which means we could just get all pendants. Which I honestly not against. Again, pedestal is a check. And it's not completely dead. Based on how the seed's going, I actually have more reason to believe it's alive than dead. What is Shroki doing, though?
Did Shroki end up picking up the big key?
No.
Oh, there's the big key. We're good. Good on recognizing that before just trying to go to the back, at least.
Very true.
And yeah, with that book, being able to read what is on ped, you want to, you know, do we get to see boing boing boing? The text that lets the racer know that yes, this was. Oh, and Surge is actually setting up for a bomb jump here. This is one of the tougher ones.
It's a nice palace bomb jump, but not the original one. What was that on Big Chest, by the way? Was it just dungeon item?
Yeah, it wasn't. It wasn't anything to write home about.
Yep, and it doesn't look like Shroki's gonna finish off Desert, which boing 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 on ped would be huge. And it does look like Shroki's going for it. I probably would just be taking the area. I would probably just go straight to like Bombo's tablet and Ether tablet first. But again, you want to check ped as quick as possible, I suppose. And if you do Bombo's tablet, you can go straight back to Desert.
Yeah, and Ether is pretty out of the way at this point for a Shroki, being all the way up on mountain.
That's true, and we haven't like done. And it probably happens when we go to Turtle Rock and after we get Ice Palace Cadus Mario. We'll see what ped is, because if ped is boing boing boing, that's the next goal. Boing boing boing!
We got boing boing boing.
Ped is alive! Ped is alive! Ped is alive!
Ped is so awake. It is. We know what we gotta do. We've gotta almost oops all dungeons.
Hype in chat, please. That's a pop off right there. Oh.
Yeah, and now Shroki definitely feels like in the lead.
Oh, Shroki is now by far leading. Because even with just the knowledge of having to do all ped dungeons, having one of them completed, one of them nearly done, and just about to get the third one done, it's big. We got something big here. Why did he go into this entrance? Yeah, you gotta go in the back entrance, not the front one. Super speed! Oh, I can't wait to see the VOD of this on YouTube.
Which also is a great reminder. Make sure to look for Speed Gaming on YouTube, where all or most of the races between Link to the Past Randomizer, Link to the Past main tournament. I'm sure there are other things out there, but
Yeah,
you know.
SC3, Mario 3 Randomizer, Metroid Prime Randomizer. If there's a game for you, you're gonna find it on Speed Gaming. If you like speed runs and races, you're gonna find it there.
If you like people going fast, we got just the channel for you.
Zoom! And Specs is going to be the first person the second person to find Ether, but the first person to do it in Logic.
Logic, what's that?
Something that Shroki broke in the beginning, and it paid off immensely.
Yeah, and meanwhile, Strokey, speaking of, is about to take down Landmolus.
Ooh, Surge, 1 heart in Pod. Could beat Pod. Because we do have Lamp there. No Kane, it makes it a little bit harder, but... Ooh, wait, was that a save and quit, or was that a game over?
That was a save and quit.
Okay, good. I was gonna say. We have... Man. I wonder, is Surge just blind checking Ped?
That would actually pay off in this particular.
Oh, it would be a huge payoff. I wonder if this happens. Because we know where every single item required for go mode is now. So we're in no mode.
Yeah.
I
Meanwhile,
do wonder, however, if Silver's is... Pod Boss does have an item. Okay, that's what they're checking. Okay.
and it's certainly defensible. And
Oh, absolutely.
the only thing that we would really care about, though, it could be Silver's. It could also be the Bloomerang.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, the main thing we care about right now, since we know where Hookshot is, we care about Silver's the most, because that will speed up combat very much.
Yeah.
That's what we really want to do right now for a runner. Like, well, if us with our omnipotence, we're running, we want to find Silver's next, just because that's the speed upgrade. Interesting question, though. If we have a Hookshot Swamp, do we do left side? If we're... True.
So...
Because that's Lamp. But we don't need Lamp to beat the game.
We technically don't, and at that point... Well, so Strokey's still on the search for Samaria as well, keeping in mind.
True. And we know that's an ice, but Strokey doesn't seem too keen to do ice right away.
Right, at least not without Samaria, which...
Silver Arrows! Oh, that's interesting. Silver Arrows on Helmarok King.
Alright, so hey, on the plus side, every single one of our runners will have silvers by the end of this.
So, no Serverless Ganon today. That was 10
Oh, wait,
that was
sorry.
10 arrows. I'm dumb. I apologize. I saw AG. It was 10 arrows.
So AG would be if they were separate, if it's non-progressive.
Ah, see, I'm used to non-progressive. I keep forgetting this is progressive because my main game is not.
That's all good. And Alex finally picking up those Pegasus boots, by the way.
Yeah, that's just a movement upgrade that you needed as well as the bow. So that's big for Alex there.
Yeah, that'll allow for some catching up there.
Oh yeah, hammer, huge hammer there.
No kidding.
And slash. Boom. Silver's probably either in GT or... Silver's could be on Vitreous. Right? I think I haven't tracked full items.
I believe we've already gotten 2 items out. Second item was book.
Yeah. Looks like it.
All right. Meanwhile, Strokey and Strokey is definitely in the best positioning here, having knowledge and with taking down Helmasaur, that is all 3 pendants.
Specs is about to get book. Doesn't have book quite yet. Surge, however, is probably going for Ped. And that's going to be huge. Because that puts Surge in a huge lead. Not having done Meyer.
Oh, does Specs need to... Sorry, does Specs need to come back for Big Chest?
Specs is coming back for Big Chest for a little bit because he hasn't done it yet, I think. We are going to see
Okay.
Vitreous. Or, Specs could have Book, actually, but we're seeing Vitreous here. And, yeah, it's the not-so-nice Vitreous fight. There's Bow for Alex. That is Bow we know of. But we're going to now see a Race to Pedestal.
Yeah. And that is...
Oh, no, we're not. Oh, yeah, we are. Yeah.
Yep. So Surge... Yep, Surge...
Surge is getting there first because the misclick from Shroki. Key in Misery Mire from Vittles. Little Vitreous.
Yeah, but that is crystal number 6 down now for Specs.
But Specs has no idea where the hookshot is.
And yeah, we are sort of in an interesting spot where Specs and Alex do not know about hookshot, but they have the Cannons of Maria. And that's probably gonna keep them. Now, fortunately, at this point, I think they're gonna have to do Ice Power.
Surge about to pop off. Surge, double ped hype, required ped hype, with Surge doing it blind. That is dedication.
Right, and that's gotta feel good. That is absolutely gotta feel good.
Your gamble working will always feel good, yep. Shroki is a few seconds ahead of Surge right now, but Surge also has the advantage of having Lamp and having done a bit of Swamp. Although I could see Shroki doing Swamp into Ice as well. I could see both of them doing Swamp into Ice here, and that would be huge plays for both of them. Because Swamp could be Silver's. Yeah.
True, we've done all of the fronts.
Oh, okay. We're gonna see Bombos. We're gonna see Bombos tablet here. I like this routing.
Yeah, I like this routing as well. Is it gonna pay off? No, like even Silvers won't really be too much of a difference maker at the end for this time, but
maybe not. The Arrow of Destiny.
It's a single collectible arrow. But on the plus side, Strokey was able to pick it up. That is arrow number 28.
Yeah, that is Arrow of Destiny though. Surge taking a little bit of lead here, and we're gonna see Swamp being done pretty quickly. But again, not having Book for Surge does make it so that Surge doesn't know where Samaria is, and that could be extra checks done later. But we're gonna see it in Ice after the IPBJ. The other good news for Surge here is that Surge already did a lot of the checks. Specs is about to do the 5-6 crystal check, which it could be vanilla on arrows. Who knows? I'm rooting for Silvers because Silver Ganon would be great. We see a lot of Silvers Ganon misses, so I'd like to see more with Silvers. Oh, Surge doesn't have Ether! Oh, shoot. So Surge is also on an Ether hunt.
Yeah, there's... Now, yeah, so Surge is sort of in an interesting predicament.
So... Specs has Big Bomb, Pyramid Fairy check. Alex is behind right now just by the Medallion, plus Fire Rod, plus Book, plus Ped. But could get Ped earlier. We're seeing Shroki in one mode off. I missed what Specs got, but was there anything?
Piece of Heart and Fiver.
Yeah, that's about expected. Big chest, big key here, and junk. Yep, junk is junk. I am surprised because we are actually getting we're gonna get a 2-hour plus seat here, and that's not something we see a lot in opens.
Oops, Surge ran into the bug that if you don't hold over to the side, you'll get pushed right back downstairs.
Yep. And we're seeing a quick check on Big Chest because it could be an item. Rupee of Destiny.
I mean, it's an item.
It's an item. And I'd rather know now than have it be haunting me later if it was Samaria.
Right.
That's why Shroki's doing, I think, all the checks. Yeah, I mean, Dark Cross is going to be what Dark Cross is what Surge needs to do. We're gonna get punished again by Arrow of Destiny. That's Arrow 20 for Specs. Specs here just looking for Hookshot, but possibly gonna check Desert. Shiroki making a move and skipping left side. We know that's Lamp, but we know that Lamp is not fully required.
Right, and Mire is definitely the toughest remaining dungeon that the Lamp would be helpful for. And it could be also Shiroki just checking the back first and then coming back in for left side if because we do know it's at least one. I know it's at least one item with the Lamp.
Yeah. Argus. Alright, so we're going to see a Diver Down attempt in Argus here. Bomb Diver Down is much harder than Samaria Diver Down. Just same principle as Icebreaker versus Bomb Jump. But he gets it.
Well, and fortunately, the Seed, health-wise, has been treating us pretty well. We're at just a little bit of cash.
Right.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're at 17 hearts.
Compass, so no item on Argus. That will be... Specs is now going to check Pedestal. So Specs will have knowledge of Hookshot being on Ped. And arguably be in the best position to capitalize here.
That is true, because Specs is... now, Specs will have to do 4 dungeons. And at this point, we can basically look at the dungeon tracker for how well everyone's doing.
Yeah.
Surge has 3 dungeons to go. About to do Ice.
But they're also the 3 longest dungeons. That's the other thing.
That is true, and Surge will not have the advantage of Canis Samaria because that...
Or Ether.
Right. So right now, for the best position, Specs is in the best position item-wise.
I would think it's between Specs and Shiroki right now, just because of items and dungeon knowledge.
Right. Now, after this, though, Shiroki is going to be much more likely to just go into Ice after this, so we'll be able to get Canis Samaria and enter Go mode.
As is Surge. Surge is already in Canis Samaria. We'll be able to enter Go mode.
Surge is not in Go mode
not Go mode, but like, no mode. Ether mode, essentially. So Dark Cross. But we'll be able to pick up Samaria next. And it is important to note that Alex is also currently taking on Helmasaur King. And that's another something. Go mode for Specs or no mode if you don't think knowledge counts. Yes. This is Go mode for Specs. Just because Specs knows exactly what to do, can do it, and will be able to pick it up very soon. This is no mode for Specs.
Right.
So it comes down to three dungeons that are very long versus 1 short dungeon, or 4 short dungeons. Even though Pod is arguably the longest of the 4, if you're just skipping Swamp, which in this case Specs is. But I think this is going to come down to IPVJ on Surge's side, but IPVJ and Ganon Tower routing.
Yeah. All right. Very clean Ice Palace Bomb Jump, by the way.
That, and also, go-moding Turtle Rock is also a strategy here. Because that is what Shiroki will have to do, go-mode Turtle Rock. Which does mean we're just looking for keys, which makes it a lot shorter. Same thing goes for Mire at that point. It's going to be a go-mode redip of Mire.
Yeah, and the big key was...
well, no, but Specs knows where Hookshot is. He knows, because he just checked Pedestal.
Yeah, and to answer our question, TR was in the very front. I think it was with the laser and the spikes.
Yeah, it's one of those keys. And having Hookshot, Shiroki will also be able to do slightly faster TR routing for the torches. Whereas Specs is still dealing with Helmasaur King with, I mean, it's tempered. So it's gonna be it's go mode right now. Yeah, 2 runners are very close to it. Samaria is pretty deep in Ice Palace, but Surge is probably, I think, about to get it right here. I forget if it's on this chest or one very soon after, but it's...
It's on the freeze war chest.
Yeah, okay, so it's the one that right above Big Key Room. Here's Icebreaker. Insult to injury, Surge does not have Samaria here, so cannot do Icebreaker on and do it the faster way. Has to go all the way around again. But Shroki here is gonna probably do some. Shroki's gonna do some pretty Ice Palace things. Quick kill on double Skeletors. Alex here doing Armos Knights is getting pedestal ready too, likely.
Right now, this would be Alex doing blind, and Shirky attempting, by the way, Ice Palace Bum Jump.
Very hard track. Double
Alex.
pick, perfect, I believe.
Yeah. And Alex does get take down Armor Knights.
Just do it at this point. Shroki, do it vanilla. There it is. Never mind. Also, you can hookshot. You can use hookshot to get over these. It is possible.
Yeah, but I can also understand because if you get knocked off, if you do get knocked down, and then you have to do the Ice Palace Bomb Jump, right?
And be very careful.
Right, and hearts might be one thing, but number of bombs.
That's 5, right? Yeah, 5. We are gonna see Freezor chest soon, I believe. Surge getting Samaria is pretty good. Yeah, here's Freezor chest. So if we get 1, 2, there's Samaria, and we're gonna see if there's a mirror out, or if we. This is go mode, right?
That is go mode. Yep.
All right, so go mode for Shroki here, with 3 dungeons remaining, and stream just froze again.
Yeah, at around the 135, about 135.47 mark, let's say.
Can we get a restart on stream, by the way?
All right.
In the meanwhile, we're gonna see likely specs. Shroki's getting that. We're gonna see Specs getting go mode very soon, but with like 1 dungeon left to go instead of 2.5. And it's a quick swamp too, so no left side swamp this time, which is already half cleared. Surge. Final Fantasy 12, I believe, is this soundtrack?
This is Final Fantasy 9.
9. All right.
Yep.
Yeah, I forgot what was put in chat.
All right. But yeah, as we work on getting a stream, please make sure to follow the runners, by the way. They're doing an amazing job for us. And especially considering this has been an interesting seed overall.
Absolutely. This has been a drip feed seed all the way through. By the way, Shroki now currently has every item needed for go mode, including a very nice temperate sword. We are probably going to see Silverless Ganon unless we find it in GT, which runners have done before, runners can do again. It's fine. So, in the meanwhile, yeah, we're going to try to keep talking over what we know here, but we're probably going to have to yeah, we're gonna get a restart soon, so just be on the lookout for that. But for now, don't worry, stream's gonna go black for a little bit, but thank you Bonsai for being there for us and helping us out here. Again, drawing redone, but bot's gonna take care of it for us. Lesson to everybody here. We need to make sure that nobody else, well, not nobody else, but if you are listening to this, please do not stream Link to the Past Randomizer at 1080p. And we are back. It looks like Specs just got At least not while we're streaming. And it looks like we're frozen still.
All right, but thank you everyone for watching along. Very much appreciate everyone watching. As we continue and come back, there we go. Specs did pick up that hook shot, by the way.
So that is indeed go mode for Specs. It looks like we're seeing a Mire dip.
Yes, Strokey is in Mire.
Mire for Strokey. The only runner without Lamp, by the way, because he's the only one who never saw left side of Swamp. Which will make it a little bit more difficult, but Samaria makes it a little bit easier too. But this just makes it a little bit harder to navigate. Thank you, Bonsai, again. Absolutely great for us, but yeah.
Oh, and on Alex's side, we're actually seeing a room you don't usually see.
No, you don't normally see this room. We have the health for it, so might as well do it though.
Exactly, and hey, if you can powder up as well to get your hearts back.
Surge doing Turtle Rock before doing Misery Mire due to lack of ether here.
Now,
Strokey is still in Dark Room hell, but
right, well, and from 17 hearts down to 2. Fortunately, it's just a Stalfos in here that really has to worry about, but
yeah, there's a Stalfos done.
Right, but now you got to watch out. Now you do have to watch out for a lot of other things. There's like the little mites.
We have powder here though with the anti-fairies, so we can make it. That's one down, and boom.
And answering your question in chat, a very important question. I believe this is the Ilfa tree from Final Fantasy IX.
You would know better than I. You would know better than me, for sure.
And Strokey, that is the nice thing about having powder, at least.
Yeah, being able to heal. And remember, we don't have Cape. We don't have Cane of Burna on Strokey's side either, because Strokey elected to skip Cane in Checkerboard and has not yet found Cape in Turtle Rock. So we're almost done with Vitreous, first phase, but we just have to poke at that last side one more time, and there he goes, there's the last spin. And yeah, just pelting Vitreous with arrows here, you gotta do it. So Specs is probably gonna reach GT first here, just because on Argus last fight, this was Oops All Dungeons, due to a pedestal requirement, but Specs has been routing supremely well for the first few dungeons and just kept going. So we're going to see Specs head to GT in about 15 seconds, 20 seconds. Whereas we're going to see Strokey go to Turtle Rock and then GT, which is good routing still. Like, very good routing. But we do know what's happening next for both runners. So this is going to come down, I think, to Turtle Rock versus beginning at GT and then Ganon fights.
Yeah, but even for Turtle Rock, this is going to be this is definitely Specs's race at this point.
Oh yeah, this is Specs' race to lose. This just depends on death on Ganon, for example, falling down on Ganon, stuff like that, which has happened before in yep. Put your numbers in chat, everybody. So we got 13, we got 13.5. I'm gonna go 21.
I was just about to ask what your favorite number is between 1 and 22.
Oh, sorry, 20. Sorry, I meant 22. I'm gonna go with the lamp. I'm gonna go with tile chest. 22.
All right, I'm gonna go with a nice 4. I think.
All right, remember we're gonna go Price is Right rules, I believe, for this, which means closest without going over takes the victory. Victory of what, you ask? Absolutely nothing. Just some bragging points.
You get internet fame. You get, the respect of your peers. a crisp high five.
Bragging rights.
Oh, and okay, and yeah, Surge having to kind of pick their way through there, not having any more magic at the time, at the point.
Which, luckily enough, was remedied right before Trinex here.
Yeah, but it does make it a little bit more demanding of accuracy, because
That's a dead round 1. Round 2, it's 2 shots per. Taking it a little bit safe here, letting Trinex ice the floor. Miss 1, miss 2, miss 3, miss 4. Wow.
I think we've got green goo still. We've got blue goo. We're
even
good.
better. Even better.
Meanwhile, item 1 is it's not it.
Yeah, we're just gonna choose to fire rod it down, I suppose. Makes it quicker, makes it easier. Item 1 is not it. Yeah, let's see, we're on Turtle Rock and Strokey's side, so Strokey's about to find Cape. 2, no. 3, no. 4, no. 5, no.
Damn, but talk about all the keys.
All the keys. We're probably gonna see right side now. So we're about to see
Yeah.
sticks. I believe Hope Chest is next.
Yeah, we've got Hope Room coming up. Meanwhile, Surge does take down Trinex.
7, yeah. 8. Where is 8? That's Trinex down, but that's Ether left to go.
Yeah,
Yep.
we're gonna be getting 8, 9, 10, 11 coming
There,
up shortly. All right, Surge is
Not
thinking.
the Ote.
Surge is trying to think about what is missing.
I'm exactly on 22. See, Surge is trying to think what's missing.
Oh, Specs didn't have enough magic to do.
Oh.
That's okay. You got bombs.
And that's just enough bombs. I've done this with bombs before. It's not the easiest, but it's not bad. All right. I believe 8, 9, 10, 11.
Yep. 8, 9.
10 and half magic on 11. Though we take that.
Ooh. I guess with 3 keys we're okay, but not grabbing the key there.
With yeah, we're fine with the keys though, because we don't need to take that key.
Yeah.
And there's, I believe we still haven't taken the key from the bottom right skull in this room. We're gonna see 12 very shortly.
Yep. And fortunately, Surge realizing the missing check.
12. Oh yeah, Surge going to Dark Cross here.
Yep. So that's going to be an unfortunate last location, but it's better finding it than not.
Grabbing the key.
All right. And with that, Surge is in go mode.
So we got one more go mode. That's gonna be in Mire. $13 bottle. That is 13, right?
That is 13. Yep.
Yeah, okay. 14 through 17 coming up in Rando Room. Named that because, well, Rando's the only time you see it. And there's Hookshot for Alex. 14. 15. 16. Wow. 17. Map and compass right next to each other, though. Okay. 5 checks left. 20% chance it's in Tile Room.
Yep. It's that is definitely still alive.
As the person who called Tile Room, I'll be very vindicated if it is Tile Room.
Specs stopping off to pick up some arrows.
Absolutely. That being said, silvers are a possibility here. We have a 5 in however many chance to get silvers on this check. Alright, Bob's chest. Shoki having a little bit of a hard time here, but having that boomerang.
Speaking of silvers,
We just find it in Bob's chest?
we just found it in Bob's chest.
Nice!
Number 18.
18 is silvers.
But you know, if only it was gold and key-shaped and a bit larger than the other regular keys.
Yeah. Well, we got 3 more checks and then it's tile room time. 19. No! It's 9. It's right behind Armo's mirror shield. We're not seeing tile room today. Tile is dead.
All right, and so
I
8.
thought it was going to be a great spot. It is vanilla spot apparently, so who
Yep.
18 and 3/4 Kilo Delta, you take the win here. It is 19 and you got by far the closest guess.
Yep. And meanwhile, Shroki is finishing up here, as Surge is just searching for the big key.
So we know where it is now. So guaranteed silvers for absolutely everybody. So yeah, I guess the prediction we made earlier, the seed is true. Guaranteed silvers for everybody does exist, just in the other way than we thought, because it is on Bob's chest.
Just as we all thought.
Yeah, me thinking it's AG because it's not. Me forgetting it is progressive bow this time.
Yep. Although to be fair, the upcoming tournament that we've got does have an open hard plus mode where silvers are non-progressive or bows are non-progressive. So those can include silvers before the bow.
Yep, that's SMZ3 for you.
And actually, because of order of operations, Ali's actually giving us the first Kane Samaria diver down check here.
There it is. Fire Rod was in Hookshot Cave.
Yep, Fire Rod was Hookshot Cave, and and that's what Alex is still looking for.
But Alex will be able to get that on their way to Turtle Rock. Bonk with
That's
bow.
true.
Also, we do have a finish off restream. So congratulations to Sheer with first place.
All right, and the unfortunate news for Alex there.
Oh, totally. Confusions is totally fine. Don't worry.
Yeah, this has been out of all the seeds, this has been one of them. To be fair.
This has been a seed.
And actually, with that little bit of magic, that should be enough magic for Specs to be able to.
Is Shroki just going full left? Shroki is going full left.
I like the. I also like this move.
This will be faster because it will take off silvers. However, I believe it will get rid of half magic.
Correct. Yeah, half magic. Shroki will not be finding that unless we do rando and then just mirror.
Which is also a possibility. There's Vitrace down for Surge, so Surge is about to head into GT as well. Alex is taking a little bit of time, but we'll be getting there probably within 5-10 minutes.
Oh, and I think, okay, there we go. I was worried Specs had accidentally done a sword beam there on Moldorm.
Nope. Just gonna say no to Moldorm chests. That is Rupee of Destiny. Rando Rush is a strat. And we are going to see Rando, but well, silvers are guaranteed. So that will make Ganon a lot easier. But at the same time, Ganon is a lot easier for these runners than for me, for example.
But here we are, Aga. Okay, so Specs is going to go ahead and use the cape. We're getting some pretty nice lineups so far. I've actually never seen this use of the cape on the Aga 2 fight. Oh, nice triple to finish that off, though.
There's a dead Agadim. So we got Ganon coming up, and phase 1 is much easier than 2, I would say. 2 is, without any items, is probably one of the harder ones. 3 and 4 are much easier, though.
Yep. And
right,
Alex,
Alex
does
on
take
silvers
down.
here.
Yep, getting silvers for Shroki.
And that's silver arrows, making Ice almost so much easier.
Yeah, and Alex getting taking down Argus, but Specs showing that Here's what we all were building towards. My minion failed to guard all these items.
Yeah, this is gonna be Ganon fight of the century. And
Nice one. Nice first one phase one.
great phase one. It looks like it's gonna be a 1-1, by the way. Yeah, it's a 1-1.
Yep, well done.
There.
Already on to phase three. Don't blink, you'll miss it.
Yep, 2. Well, I guess it's the phasing phase. And 4. Now here's the question. Do we get a double, a triple, or a quad? Ooh, miss. Oh.
It's not the end of the world though. With half magic and with silvers.
Do we get a triple? Do we get a triple? No, we're gonna play it safe. No, that happens at the worst time there.
Oh, but hey, gets a sword slash in.
That's a dead Ganon.
Yep. Get
With
your
time.
GGs in chat.
Yep, GG's in chat, everybody. Great Agalines with a time of 1:55.
Wait for it.
23. We have Specs finishing first place in Restream, second place overall, with a very solid sub-2 time. So we will be seeing Specs here pretty shortly. But until that time comes, congratulations, GG's in chat for Specs.
Yep. And meanwhile, we do have Shirky taking on the Gauntlet. Just about finished up with it actually. With Surge going ahead and trying to find Big Key, but we are joined here in the booth by Specky Specs. GG.
Thanks, GG's.
Thank you, KR. I appreciate that. Install it. Thank you.
So almost oops all dungeons. Kind of what's going through your head, kind of when you're checking Ped.
Yeah, at that point, I'm like, all I have left is I have Ped, and I have to go into. I have 2 checks at Eastern Palace plus Green Pendant. I have the 1 check on Helmasaur, so I'm like, basically I'm doing pendants. I might as well check Ped. I just got the book out of Meyer. It book didn't lead to anything. Let's go check Ped. That way I know, like, yeah, at that point it's like, it's probably Ped. But either way, I'm clearing the pendants. I might as well know, do I just beeline clearing the pendants, or do I need to grab the extra items or prioritize a certain pendant dungeon? But yeah, it was definitely not happy. I can't say I'm surprised. It's a classic speed gaming, seed, Ped. Hookshot's a new one for me, but yeah, almost full cleared the game.
Yeah.
Honestly, I was personally hoping for Tower and Big Key just to seal the deal.
You're cruel, but I was we weren't far off. It was behind Ice Armor, so almost there.
I mean, keep in mind, I'm also an SMC3 commentator mainly, so I wish a lot worse on those runners. Don't worry.
Fair enough. But yeah, this scene was kind of gross. Obviously, Ped was the grossest thing, and like, there was so many good options for so long that like, when do you do things? Was obviously Samaria and Freezer Chest and Ice Palace. I mean, that's a classic, but still, it was annoying. Who else was there? Oh, Moon Pearl in the front of Escape. Not a fan of that. Oh, Ether and Dark Cross got me as well. Boots and Pendant Desert weren't great. Wasn't the worst seed, but yeah, it was not the best seed.
Room for improvement for the seed. 7 out of 10 needs more water.
That sounds good to me. 7 out of 10. Yeah, I'll give it a 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10 needs less pendants.
Less pendants, less Ped. Yes.
To be fair, it's a commentator's dream seed to see Ped and be so close to seeing Tile Room.
I'm sorry. Next time, I'll go ahead and just do it for you guys.
Thanks.
Make you happy. I'll take the time loss.
Hey, you still got second place and by quite a bit. So, Strokey's only now finishing up Aghanim, I think. So, we're just doing Aghanim, and Surge is in Tower, and
Nice.
Alex is just doing Dark Death Mountain exploration to find Fire Rod and Hookshot Cave.
I know, I believe Shoki's still a somewhat new player. They've been grinding a lot lately, so it's good to see them improve and so
Mad
pretty
respect.
good for how long they've been playing. Yeah, mad respect. Yeah.
I will say,
They're doing well.
something that I thought that they might have taken it over you just for a second or two, was if you did not find Ether, because they found it in the very beginning.
Yeah, I had a feeling. I'm like, at that point, I was either gonna go to Eastern Palace, which had 2 items left plus Queen Pendant, or I was going to do Dark Cross. So I think I did one thing before that. Oh, I did Left Side Swamp. I dove a Swamp. I realized in hindsight I should have done Dark Cross first, and then Swamp. So that was probably the only thing I objectively said was a routing mistake.
Fair, but at the same time, it paid off because it gave you logical access. And a
That's
little
true.
bit of time.
And when I got the lamp and Left Side Swamp, I'm like, I'm not getting anything else here in Swamp, am I? I'm just getting logical access, and that's it. And yeah, that's what it was. I knew lamp was going to be somewhere silly. It was either going to be in Eastern Palace, Dark Cross, or Swamp because that's all it could be in. So I was hoping for Ether or Hookshot and Swamp, but that didn't pan out.
By the way, that's hit 1 in phase 3 for Shroki. 2.
Yeah.
With Green Pot still, all the way from back then. 3.
But yeah, it was definitely more of a drip of logic between the mitts in Skull Woods. Just the way the progression was pretty kind of scattered throughout.
Nice, gets Torch Glitch.
Yeah, this was a scene where between the Ether and the Hookshot, it was for the first 2. Oh, and then Ice Rod and Graveyard Ledge also could have been
Double.
icky for some people. I forgot about that one.
Oh, Ice
but-
Rod was Ice Rod was icky, yeah. That was
Yeah.
one of those that you found that so early on compared to everybody else.
Yeah, I'm usually a very thorough player for the most part, especially when I'm not getting a lot of items. When I got lots of items, I'll try to jet seed it, but when I don't, I play very thorough. And I think it more or less paid off in the seed where the logic was really hard to follow and, it ended up being ped, so.
And real quick, with a time of 2:01:06, we have Shroki finishing off in 2nd place this race, in this restream, 3rd place overall.
Nice, congrats.
Yeah, so Shroki will be in here very shortly, I believe. GG's to Shroki.
But yeah, it's yeah. Unfortunately, Ice Rod was not the one that gave folks trouble. It was either that Ether Medallion or it was Hookshot that no one knew about because the book was so late as well.
Yeah, that's the other thing is if you got the Ether sooner though, if I'd gotten the Ether sooner, then I would have gone to Mario sooner and got the book sooner, and I might have checked Ped sooner and possibly saved. I would have possibly avoided Swamp and some other checks. I could see, if someone got Ether earlier, you could definitely save time here because you would have been able to get the book, check Ped a little sooner, and skip a few more things and have nicer routing. So
That is true.
That Ether definitely hurt me. Because I would have checked Ped a bit sooner if I had gotten that book sooner.
Yeah, but also, I will say Shroki also missed out on Samaria for probably the longest time. He was the last one to find it.
Yeah, that makes sense. When it's an Ice Palace and Freezer Chest, and you probably don't have Hookshot when you're doing it, it's pretty gross.
Shroki and Surge both did end up having Hookshot for that.
Oh, wow. Okay, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
They did Ice Palace pretty much to find Go mode. Ice Palace was Go mode for Shroki.
Interesting. Okay.
Shroki released because Shroki had Ether, remember, from the beginning, so decided to go Mire first with Boots because you can do Boots to reach across, and ended up finding Book to Ped to Hookshot, Hookshot Swamp.
I guess that makes sense. If you get the Ether a lot sooner, you do Mario sooner. So yeah, you then get the book and know about Ped way sooner.
Yeah, so that's kind of what happened there. I think actually the Samaria play ended up helping you a lot more than having Ether early, just because because Samaria helps that much. That you might have been able to do Diver Down with Kane rather than with bombs if you did that. Surge on Aghanim, by the way, at 2:03:30 approximately, so we'll be seeing a finish pretty soon.
You were so far you have been also the only racer to pick up that half magic, by the way.
Oh, that was in. Okay, compass. So that makes sense. And then everyone else.
Yeah.
I assume everyone else
Full
did
left.
not DM route. Yeah.
Full left, yeah. Well, we have
Yeah,
not seen Alex there yet because Alex is still on Turtle Rock.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I always DM route. I never change. It's most of the time more of a time loss versus someone who's like goes and does Hope Room. But I prefer to go with a safer approach that prevents me from like having a massive lead shrink.
Oh,
Like if
for sure.
someone, if I skipped compass room, that's what big key is. It would bother me so much. Whereas I'd rather just lose the 25 seconds or so
And
every time.
this game is decided in minutes, not seconds, especially on randomizer.
Yeah, usually. And usually, if you know you lose by seconds, there's way more things in GT routing you can think of. Well, I could have executed that better. I could have routed that better. I could have gone ABC sooner. Like, even when you lose by seconds, I usually don't think of, oh, well, it was GT routing. That's pretty rare that's the reason. Yeah,
No,
I
GT
agree
routing.
with you.
Yeah, if you're, and I know that's true also for specifically again combo rando, just because that's also that can get disgusting. But that's just based on experience. 1, 2. See how Surge does on phase 4. 3. 4. Alex is about to enter GT, by the way, so we'll see what routing they do. Ooh, switch. Very good. Nuts.
Oh, and even though getting hit there, because it's part of it is making sure that you don't fall off the bridge. But that is Ganon down, so Surge is about to cross the finish.
Alex is missing Skull Woods, that's right. So we're going to see Alex do a quick route to back of Skull, then head back to GT.
Yep.
Hookshot was Ped. Renderer, Hookshot was Pedestal.
And that is it for Surge. GG. Surge finishing 206.05. Good for 3rd on Restream and 4th overall.
Congratulations, all runners here.
Surge.
And welcome, Surge.
Yep. GG Surge.
GG Surge.
I think just looking at getting some mic issues sorted.
GG's.
There we go. So what'd you think about that one?
That was a seed, yeah. Yeah, that opening for me was fun. I cannot believe the RNG there.
That was actually sort of curious because I think that was your first 5 minutes, right? Of looking for bombs.
I spent 2 minutes with that RNG on the guards. Yeah, going in and out. I think I had 6 or 7 no drops, and I knew I could get an 8-pack, and I can go and get whatever's in there. And it turned out that it's good that I stuck there because the Moon Pearl was there. Unfortunately, Ether was in Dark Cross, so it all works out in the end, right? You know.
Yeah, that was.
I said that facetiously.
We're seeing a quick fight on Mothula, by the way. Just letting you guys know that.
But yeah, that was definitely one of those where it was just a drip feed of progression, ranging from something you could have done early out of Logic, but even if it was in Logic, that still would have been pretty late.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I got Dark World access relatively early, I suppose. I felt like I was doing things right, and then it was like, where's the progression? And then the whole thing in Ice Palace. Yeah.
Ice Palace was cruel. That's what it does. It's a very cruel seed.
Yeah. Yep. How did the other Specs and Strokey do?
Well, Specs.
Yeah, I can
What?
tell you how it went for me. For me, issue was no hookshot on ped, as you could guess. So I didn't get ether for a while, so I'd got the Smario pretty early on, the ice ride pretty early on. So I got to the point where like I didn't have hookshot or ether, so I found ether kind of late out of Dark Cross. Then I went to Meyer and I got the book, did all the book checks and Pyramid Fairy. And then I finally
Where
went
was
to
the
check
book?
ped. Book was in Big Chest and Meyer.
Oh dear God.
And I used that to check the pad before I went back, because all I had left at that point was literally checks on Helma and 2 checks plus Green Pendant and out of Eastern. So I'm like, I'll just check pad right now. It was hook shots. Then I basically just go moded the rest of Pod and Eastern Landmalus, and yeah, real fun seed, right?
By the way, Alex heading to GT right now at the 2-hour 10-minute mark.
Yeah, definitely classic speed gaming. Something about head seeds, you know, like this makes sense.
Yeah, I was definitely hyped when Boink 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 came up on Ped, because it was Ped was on life support. That was the last item that could possibly be on Ped, and well, it happened.
I'm gonna personally blame you for the hook shot then. Clearly, it's what had caused it.
Oh, honestly, yeah, I'm very much a commentator who gets curses on stream. Between the stream crashing today, starting late, that always happens with whenever I'm commentating for whatever reason, we start late. And whatever, you can blame it on me. It's very much the commentator's curse of KR. That being said, still shorter than an SMZ3 race, which I am very grateful for.
Okay, so yeah, only I did Compass Room, which is not surprising. A lot of people do Hope Room routing.
This
So,
could be
makes sense.
this could be DM. This could be DM.
They did Hope Room first.
Oh,
Well, they
there
could
it
be
is,
go.
yeah.
So they're not doing DM route.
Yeah. So full left, we're not going to see half magic from anybody except you here.
They got the key.
There we go. Dang. Aku getting me in there. Yeah, that's fair. Knockout restream. Honestly, the happier you see me on stream, the more likely it is that people are getting cursed with the rando.
This was a cursed seed, without a doubt.
I was very happy on
It
racing.
was. Like I had a 181 collection rate. That does not feel good. That does
Oh,
not.
absolutely.
That's
I-
that was a bad seed.
Yeah, I had 176. That was just.
GT routing
That-
basically.
I mean,
Our
the
difference is
RNG
GT
at the
routing.
beginning. The RNG in the beginning.
What was your RNG
the-
issue?
So the guards were dropping 8 bombs, and I literally, in that hallway with the 3 guards, I had to go in and out of the dungeon like 3 times just to get my 8-pack. I had like, yeah. And then I went into Ice Palace without the hook shot because I figured, let me just try. Maybe this is not hook shot locked. And then I tried doing the bomb jump on not the first bomb jump, but the second bomb jump to get to the right side. And I'm not practiced with that, so at that point I was like, let me just do ped.
So you mean the one that where you were in the hook shot room with all like the red squid
Yeah,
monsters?
yeah.
Bomb jump? Oh, okay. Yeah, I routed that differently with that hook shot. Did you have mirror when you went into Ice Palace? Assume so,
Yeah,
right?
of course. Yeah.
Everybody.
The way I did it, I did the regular Ice Palace bomb jump, you know, where you keep so that you can beat the dungeon without Samaria. And then I managed to make it to Freezer Chest. I got the Samaria out of Freezer Chest, and I'm like, this is gonna be a pain to finish the rest of the dungeon. So I just mirrored to the back of the beginning of the dungeon, and then did Icebreaker and finished the rest of the checks that way. And it made it really easy, and I never had to do the hook shot area you were in by doing it that way.
Yeah, I mean, when I got into the room with the spike ball, I had the option to go left or up, and I went up, and I immediately, as I was going through the door, I should have gone to the freezer chest.
Yeah, some sometimes freezer chests are just a little bit easier to grab.
There is one thing you could have done after that. You could have done the bomb jump back over to the freezer section. Freezer room. There's a bomb jump you could have done to get back over there after you fell
Yeah.
down.
Yeah.
Type. So we're about 2 minutes. We're not even. We're about like 30 seconds away from big key on Alex's side.
In fact, that bomb jump is super easy to learn. Most people would call it the easiest bomb jump in the game. You gotta learn it obviously, but once you learn it,
I'm
Double pixel
familiar. I'm familiar with it.
nice. It's a good way to route. I personally try to never do the hookshot room. That's on a rare occasion I'll do it, but I try to always avoid bomb jumping in that room. It's so awful. It feels so bad to do it.
Alright.
It's not a wrong thing to do it, to be clear. Like those
Big
moments
key
you
in
gotta
3,
do it.
2,
but
1,
feels
bang. Mirror out.
No mirror shield.
No mirror shield. Just grabs the key and goes.
I mean, that's actually the correct thing to do, but still.
Yeah, Shiroki only got
Free
fighter
mirror
shield.
Okay, yes, Surge's, in my difference, is only compass room and the mirror check.
Yeah,
Oh, the
absolutely.
shield check. That's all it is. Okay, interesting.
Alright. You managed to get first by like, well, in this restream by 6 minutes. Just about.
Yeah, this definitely was an interesting, just an interesting overall kind of placement. Like, it rewarded this game. This one definitely rewarded you for doing pendants, even though they weren't necessarily the right call. It was definitely it was an interesting one.
Yeah, this is one that if you had wanted to clown route and it's all you on, you're like, I beat Eastern Palace, got nothing from it. I'm just gonna. You could just just go full ped and it would have paid off on this seed.
Yeah, full pet is.
Looks like no one did that, but you could have.
Well, because actually, hold on, let's try to figure this out, because you did need the boots to get the bow in Bonk Rocks to be able to beat Eastern and Pod for that matter. Like,
Boots were available pretty early on though, because you had Flute and Titan Smiths pretty early on via Skullwoods.
And with the mirror, yep, you're correct.
Yeah.
Yep. So you can get the boots early, but of course, I mean, it's not really conventional to check Pinder Desert that early. Like, you're going to put it off a little bit normally. Most people would, I would say.
right, and that that definitely makes it a bit more of a spicy play overall.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're, for me at least, and this is coming from somebody who's used to kind of like longer runs, so I'm used to having to double and or triple dip dungeons, and in this case, just because I know kind of a little bit of, again, longer runs, I'm used to seeing like, oh, dependent dungeons pretty much right away if you can, because you never know if you don't think they'll be required generally, so you might as well at least dip them, do as much as you can, and get out.
Yeah, and these shorter ones, what you want to do in like open mode or cast, which is similar, is you want to just do basically really efficient routing, and try not to double dip, not triple dip. Like, do really clean routing while like being thorough, but like not too thorough. You kind of follow the rhythm of like how much progression you're getting. So like you never want to dive a pendant. Generally, you're trying to like, I'll say, increase how often you win games against people, because you may get nothing from the pendant and then you just wasted a minute or two. But you could have done cleaner routing somewhere else, and things you probably were gonna have to do anyway that are more conventional and kind of on your array. So like, I would call it I would call it a little bit of an aggressive play to have gone pendant desert early.
Yeah, and again, sometimes you just have to make those plays. For example, if you're against people like Andy, or people like really top tier in the community. Like if you're racing against them, you make as many aggressive plays as you can, just because
Yeah. When you're
So I gotta run. But GG's to all, and thank you for allowing me on the restream. Thank you to the commentators, and
Totally.
thank you for the trackers and people behind the scene.
Yep. Thank you very much for racing with us. Thanks for being on restream, and I hope you had a great time.
I did. GG's. Nice.
GG's.
GG's. And meanwhile, Aliax is finishing up Clockwork Room here, getting close towards the. Oh, okay. So, all right, an interesting little route here.
No fire rod.
Does have fire rod. Probably wants to conserve magic.
Has fire rod. Just choosing not to do it, I suppose. Which, to me at least, is a little bit of a weird, because it's just so much easier to do Clockwork Room run and get it just with Fire Rod in the bottom one there. But that's me.
It might be it might be an experience thing as well.
That's true. That is very true. It does seem like sometimes sometimes you have your first races and or very soon after. Hey, you know what? That's respect too. Racing against a lot of people on Restream is a very hard thing to do.
Yeah, definitely is. Takes time to learn. There's so many things to learn, and you can always improve at everything, improve consistency. So like, they're doing a lot of things. Alex doing a lot of things really well. I don't know how new a player Alex is.
They're NA on Elo, by the way. So that's.
I was guessing relatively new based off of that. And sometimes people like play a lot of ladder or pickup races and don't like do race time or vice versa.
That's true. That's true.
But
Like,
you're probably right that they're like. My hunch would be
they are
2
very
2 months.
they're new to the rando apparently. So no, they're doing a great job. Like sub 230 is my estimate on this, and that's very very good. This might be close to a PB. Hey.
Oh wow, nice.
Love
Hey.
that.
They're doing pretty well. They should definitely be proud of how well they're playing, considering really like, this is
Well,
really solid
absolutely.
play, and it was a rough seed as well. Like this is
Yeah,
a rough seed.
this was one of those. Well, it had some good things. It did have some good things. Like, we're pretty well armored out. 17 hearts. Kind of I think, like Specs. I think you had the fewest hearts at 16.
Yeah, only 16 hearts. It was really rough.
That's huge.
Right.
Yeah.
You know.
And you had red mail too, so it's like the only person without red mail is Surge.
Oh, so they
Nice
used
double there. Might have been even triple.
There was one hammer pegs. What was the other one?
Akina.
Ah, yep, that. Okay, yep, Venus. I know that now.
Akina clown defense. We gotta love it. This is a Ganon time now for Alex. So everybody, let's cheer on Alex in chat.
Yeah. And meanwhile, something also, everyone did end up seeing where that last sword was, but yeah, no one went to get that butter sword off of Bumper Ledge.
Yeah, Bumper Ledge seems to be doing fine.
All right, and it turns out Ganon is 0-2 this entire time. If I remember my Kirby 64. Right, the joy of just being. There is something about just being able to slash away. I do hope Alex does have still some potion left, though. Good.
Yeah,
all right, we're golden.
Potion. Oh no, sorry, I wasn't saying about the potion. I was saying the slashes. I don't know if they have potion left.
Oh, they will. Oh no, hold on.
Ah, that was close.
Oh, that was
potion. We got green. We got green goo. We're good. We are good. One focusing now on Torch Glitch, hopefully.
Oh.
Okay, we're good.
You're good.
Oh.
And
No.
Torch Glitch isn't
Blue goo.
as.
We got blue goo too. We got blue goo. Wait. We got blue goo. All right.
Yeah. And Torch Glitch isn't as needed when you do have at least it's not needed.
Yeah, I would actually argue that usually Torch Glitch actually is slower when you have silvers, because you can't not necessarily, but the timing, like if you want to go for the a triple silvers, it's usually faster to not even go for Torch Glitch.
Interesting. Yeah, generally just because I run safe rather than I run. That's a dead Ganon, and that's a time of 2:23. And we got about 10 seconds here, but very, very big GG for Alex in chat, everybody. 2:23:47. That is our race. in 4th place on the restream, 8th place overall. Congratulations, Alex, on your finish. And we will see them very soon also in our little restream bot.
Yeah, congrats, Alex.
And for Link to the Past Ken, Bombos was on Pyramid.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
So we.
Oh, that was kind of rough. Yeah.
Yep. So Pyramid Ledge for that, and then Ether for in Dark Cross. The Dark Cross one, that was definitely one of those tough ones.
Yeah, I intentionally skipped it early on, knowing it could hurt me, and I'm like, I'll just combo them with Pyramid Fairy or something later. But of course, the item I needed out of Dark Cross was required to beat a dungeon that then unlocked Pyramid Fairy, so I couldn't combine it like I wanted. So it was unfortunate. There's an argument to be made that you should just always check Dark Cross there. If you have a sword to do it in the dark, make it easy, and you know for sure it's not your key or map. But I personally just didn't want to waste time. Probably a mistake on my end.
Well, it's just a trade-off, honestly, especially since you know it's not going to be in logic until you find that either lamp or fire rod, and fire rod was a little bit later, and lamp. I mean, everyone picked up lamp pretty late overall.
Yeah, definitely. I would have been happy, honestly, if I just never got the lamp like Shoki didn't. I would have preferred when I just didn't get it. Didn't need it.
All right, so I think that will pretty much wrap it up for us coming up. Does anyone have any final thoughts about the seed?
I just want to say thank you, Finch. Thank you, Kara, for commentary. Thank you, Made Work Hard. Sorry if I mispronounced that.
Mad
Thank
Ewok
you,
Herd.
Solid. Made Rock Hard? Okay. Thank you very much, everyone. I appreciate the restream, commentary track. I know it's a lot of work, so thank you very much for the race and everything else.
Yep, and yeah, thank you again to our trackers, Maddie Walker, Solid, and actually, we are going to be joined real quick by Ali X. It looks like here in a second, and we are joined. GG, Ali X, GG.
Thank you. Sorry to be here so late. I didn't see the ping from the bot to be like, "Hey, join here."
Oh, no worries.
I mean, I don't have too much to say that you guys haven't already. I was sitting in Discord just listening for a little bit. Yeah, wow.
Yeah, that was out of all the seeds, that was definitely a slog.
You know, the only thing I think I'm upset with myself, honestly, is that I forgot to check what Medallion Meyer was. So I was looking, and I'm just like, okay, so maybe Turtle Rock will just, I don't know, question mark? And there was nothing there, and I was walking around, and I thought, like, as I was going into desert, I thought, oh no. I messed up. So, like, you know, other than climbing Death Mountain way more than I had to, I mean, it was what it was, you know? I'm not too upset with the way that I played. It was just, sure was a seed.
Yeah, and I did hear, by the way, in chat that this might be a PB for you.
No, I don't think so. I think I've gotten under an hour a few times on some open stuff. It's just, this wasn't really, I played a little poorly on my routing for sure, so.
Maybe for all the ones where the hookshot ends up being on the pedestal, and you know.
Oh yeah, for an 80 ped seed, yeah, okay, yeah. Sorry, apologies. Yeah, definitely, definitely.
Just
oh
take
my goodness.
Take the PB, Alex. The PB.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. It was. That's what I'll tell myself.
Now, congrats on getting through, Alex. It was a rough seed. There were a lot of bad item placements in this one.
Oh my, yes. Well, thank you guys for doing this. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely, and again, GG.
Thank you, GGs.
Major GGs, and we will see you all next race.
Yep, and kind of on a couple of the other speed gaming channels, by the way, we've got the Zelda 1 Rando tournament happening over on Speed Gaming Main, as well as Speed Gaming 3. And then we also do have a Super Metroid Rando League over on Speed Gaming 4 going on as well. We do have our next daily race going on tomorrow. Let me check on the time for that. But we also have a Link to the Past Randomizer, the main tournament, where Top 128 will compete to say who is the best runner of Inversia Open Hard Plus, Standard Boots, 80 Foe, All Dungeons Key Sanity, and Big Boss. We got a couple of streams of that going on this coming weekend. But yeah, we got some daily races rest of this week.
Yeah, that should wrap us up. Take care, everybody.
Yeah, y'all take it easy. And thank you again, Maddie Walkerd and Solit, for tracking.